Sometimes the scariest things come in the smallest packages. Today, we're going to break down how just 6 simple lines of text can create a feeling of pure, absolute terror. You ready? Let's get into it. All right, so it all kicks off with this. My daughter keeps waving at the baby monitor. I mean, how normal is that? If you're a parent, you've probably seen something just like it. It's adorable, right? Totally innocent, your kid's just playing around. And that's the secret sauce for great horror, isn't it? It always starts somewhere familiar, somewhere you feel totally safe, a perfectly ordinary moment, but, you just get that feeling that something's not quite right. So naturally, the parent chimes in. Just a simple, warm question, right? You're just curious. You're probably smiling, expecting to hear about some cute little imaginary friend or something. And then, bam, this is the first little jolt to the system. The kid is still smiling, which makes it even weirder, but the words, wow. The lady who checks on thee when you're asleep. Wait, what? The lady? When you're asleep? All of a sudden, that cozy, safe nursery doesn't feel so safe anymore. Okay, so what's your first thought here? As the parent, your brain immediately scrambles for the most logical, the least scary explanation possible. And it lands right here, doesn't it? Phew, okay. It's just an imaginary friend. It has to be. So you do what any parent would do. You try to rationalize it away. You give a little laugh, to brush off that flicker of fear. You gently correct her. You're basically trying to put reality back in its place, stuff that scary idea back into its box. Honey, no one comes into your room at night. You say it like it's the most obvious fact in the world, a hard line in the sand. But then this happens. And this little detail is absolutely everything. The child doesn't get confused. She doesn't just accept what you said. She frowns. And in that one tiny expression, your whole logical explanation just evaporates. It tells you everything you need to know. You're wrong. And there it is, the knockout punch, the final line that just shatters your entire sense of reality. The fact that it looks like a mom, that makes it personal, that makes it terrifying. But it's those last 2 words. Oh man, those last 2 words are the kill shot. It's not you. It's something that looks like you, but it's wrong. Taller. Just think about that one word. That's where all the horror comes from. It is so specific, so bizarre, and there's just no way to explain it away. That single detail completely transforms the image in your head, right? It goes from a simple mistake to something unnatural, monstrous even. So the story's over, but I bet that creepy feeling is still hanging around. So the big question is, why does this work so well? Let's pull it apart and see what makes it tick. It really boils down to this perfect 4-step recipe for terror. First, you start in a safe place, a child's bedroom. We all get that. Then you introduce something that doesn't belong, an anomaly, this mysterious lady. Step 3, you give the audience and the parent a logical escape hatch, a rationalization. But then, for the finale, you slam that door shut. You absolutely shatter the logic, leaving us with nothing but the horrifying truth. This is a perfect, and I mean perfect, example of a concept called the uncanny valley. You've probably felt this before. It's that super unsettling feeling you get when you see something that's almost human, almost familiar, but there's just one little thing that's off. And that subtle wrongness makes it incredibly creepy. A figure that looks just like mom, but taller? That is textbook uncanny valley. And this is where you can really see the engine of the horror at work. You've got the mother, familiar, safe, known. And then you have this lady. The hook is that she looks like the mother, but the terrifying twist is that she's taller and she's a total unknown, an intruder. That contrast, right there, that's what drives the fear. It's amazing, really. This super short story is just jam-packed with some of the most powerful ideas in horror. You've got the invasion of a safe space, the nursery. You've got the doppelganger trope, that terrifying double. You're twisting the innocence of a child's words, and underneath it all, it's just that raw, primal fear of the unknown. And can we just stop and appreciate this for a second? Just 6 lines. All of that heavy-hitting psychological terror we just talked about, the uncanny valley, the doppelganger, the shattered sense of safety, it was all built up and delivered perfectly in 6 short lines. I mean, talk about efficiency. That's incredible. And when you get right down to it, this is the real reason it stays with you long after you've read it. The story is smart. It never actually describes this taller woman. It doesn't show you a thing. It just hands you the ingredients, and then your own brain does the rest of the horrible work. The real power here isn't in what it says, it's in what it forces you to imagine. And that's the final brilliant twist, isn't it? It takes this piece of tech, a baby monitor, something that's supposed to give you peace of mind, and it flips it, turning it into a window for absolute terror. And it leaves you with one last really unsettling question to chew on.